Shadowblade here with another episode of Factorio with Angels and Bob's Mods. So I think I figured out what was going on with our stuff here. It's still not entirely perfect, but basically there was some mismatched pipes first off. The other thing is we had a bajillion nitrogen built up. It's still too much from what I can tell. The hydrogen is kind of the same way. Like you can see here with the nitrogen, don't have a like relief valve or whatever they're called. It's all, where are they? These overflow valves. It's just constantly doing its thing there. So with the hydrogen, we can kind of do something a little bit like this, where we're let's make a bigger goob. Yep. Thank you. We can kind of get away with this with the overflow valve and whatnot. But with the nitrogen, this produces so much of it, even though these guys technically, like every second, they burn off 1,000 nitrogen gas. Now these guys can produce up to, I think it's 1,800 per second of nitrogen. So this should be balanced. This should be 2,000 per second. So we should be in an equilibrium. But basically, what you have to do is you have to get like a pump, putting it into the tank from all the sources. So like on our oxygen one, we have 3 separate sources. So I've got 3 pumps in here. And then you also have to put a pump directing it into where you want it to go. Okay. And so that's what I've done here. I could probably reset these up as the stone pipes. I don't know if it makes a difference. Let's do it. Well, let's do this. Clear. To stone. There we go. And then we'll go like this. Insufficient items. What are we missing? Probably actual stone. Regular pipe. Okay. Okay, so that's all stone. You can see it still doesn't quite get it all the way down here, but it gets it really close. Like the rest of these all work pretty good. And so the point is we've built up another huge amount of sulfuric acid, which is going to allow all these things to work theoretically the way that they're supposed to. This stuff is making gobs of this, if I remember right. What are we missing? Oh, so because this isn't working, these aren't working. Oh, it's because I don't think I ever got the warehouse built up here. Oh, no, I did. Are you just full? You're full. So since this is full, it's not producing the acid. And it could be because well, I don't know. It should be working overtime. What we can do, I built one of these. Oops. Just for now. Do something like that just to get things moving. And what we'll do is we actually want this to be only the givelite chunks. Like so. And what we are missing is more of these guys to go up here for these outlets. So I still need to do crotinium too, and then I still haven't figured out what I want to do about the rubite. It's nitric acid is such a pain. But I do know that what I want to do here with these guys, so you can see how each of them are now making all these different kind of ores, right? Iron, copper, tin. This one has copper and iron and nickel and silicon and titanium and zinc. Basically, there's all these different kind of ores. And if we do I have any I do not. Here, let's grab a loader. So if we throw this in here and we look at the filter, we can see that there are, if we find it, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, about 16 different ores. Now some of this we can't be made just by this. It requires other things, but some of it can. And so the idea is that we dump all of this stuff. You can tell that these don't belong. I bet they belong here though. Lead? Nope. Whoops. Lead is probably over here. Nope. Oh, I bet it's rubite. Yeah. But so what I figured what we would do is we would have kind of like a mini sorting. So each one of these would dump its thing into one of these guys. And then these guys would have, because each one does specifically, if we look at it, like 6 different products, right? So we have loaders leaving these guys, but each one is specific to one ore, and then we direct those into the different ore silos that that we need, and then the trains will take the ore down to our refining area, and we'll call it good. That's how we'll get our ore down here to our refining area. So that's going to take a lot of these guys, these big warehouses. We could do the smaller warehouses, but I don't really see why. I mean, they are kind of color coded, so we could play around with them like that. It could be, I mean, we may be able to set that up with the train or what they filter into, but I think they're smaller. I know they're smaller because there's one. So here's the big one, here's the little one. And depending on how many inputs it has, you know, we know that a train has 6 per car. And so what I was thinking about doing was lining these guys up right next to each other. And we would have a train come in with like 4 cars, and it would pick up just that stuff. So let's get some of these guys being made. We need a bunch of stone brick, a bunch of steels, and a bunch of iron. Let me see here. 1, 2. We need 4 for these guys here. And we need... We're backed up on all the stuff over here that's not iron. It's all right. We'll fix it. And then potentially 16. Oh, we can look here. That's going to be difficult to see. So let's make 20. We want to make 20 of these big old warehouses. So that's going to be 2,000 stone brick, 2,000 iron plate, and 1,000 steel plate. Well, the stone brick we have plenty. We don't have space in our inventory for it, though. There we go. There's 2,000. Let's come over here to the iron and the steel, and what we'll do... Tempting. We'll take a couple chests here, and we'll go like this and this. $2,000 iron. 1,000 steel. Boom. 20. Excuse me. And we can pick all this stuff back up. And we'll start making these guys. We're also going to need some more of our... we're definitely going to need some more belt. And we're going to need some more loaders. Right there. Oh, and I wanted to look at, here we are, what it might take to get these things. Now, you can see here, like, we have 3 of the components already. Easy peasy. We just need the superior circuit boards, these guys, and the integrated electronics, these guys. These guys are easy, right? Sulfuric acid, we know where we can get a bajillion of that. And we've got stuff there, plastic, tin, copper wire, and silicon wafers. Easy peasy. In fact, it's exactly what we use to make these transistors with sulfuric acid added onto it. So I have an idea of how we can at least get some of that going. Because what I want to do is I want to make a set of power armor, which takes 40 electronic logic circuits. Does it require... Yeah. The lubricant we can make for the electronic engines. 20 electric engines, 40 electronic logic boards, and then a couple of these guys. Or maybe just one. But this will help us get around a little bit easier, because our base is at the point where it's so large that it's actually getting difficult to traverse it all in a timely fashion. Feels like half the episode is you guys watching me just run back and forth. So I do want to look at getting some of that set up. So let me see. The only other thing that we had to look at was this thing. Fiberglass boards, copper, gold, ferric chloride. We have the ferric chloride. Copper we have. Gold plates we can make, because we have gold ore from our sorting that's being done now. So I think we can do that. I thought there was a way. I don't remember. Put notes down, but our trains haven't been running in for a long time, and I think it's because all of our places are empty. So you see the Crotinium here, the only thing that's left are the infinite ore areas. Our stereotype seems fine. I think it's just full. Obviously our sapphirite and ammonium are done. Our rubite we dismantled. So we're going to have to find new places to get those things set up. But yeah, so you can see here our stereotype is, we're completely full up on that. We have a lot of ore saved up with the other things, except for sapphirite. I fear our sapphirite has been depleted entirely. It has. Like, look how long it takes just to run up our sorting facility. Sheesh. Madness. Alright, so warehouse. Warehouse. Eventually there will be a warehouse around here-ish. And one over here-ish. Cool. Rocks and trees. Let's get rid of these things. It's interesting, when you blow them up, they always only drop stone, but when you hack them down, you'll get geodes and stuff. That's the other thing we're going to have to deal with, is we've got geodes down there at some point that we're going to have to pull out and do something with. Okay, so if we look at this over here, we've got iron, copper, nickel, silicon, titanium, zinc. Okay, so let's get our things going here. Here, let's do this. If we have a train, like so. And then we'll probably have to fix it a little bit, but what I was thinking is, if you put a train stop and you have two engines, and you have some inserters, there's room for 6 inserters, right? Here. It's one too many. Which means we could have, because these guys are 6 wide, like this. And then this would be iron, copper, silicon, and something else. All right, so what are the first ones? Iron and copper, nickel and silicon. So here's where I would love to use like sticky notes. Copy. No. Alt. I do not know. I don't know how that works, but this would be fantastic if we could just put a note here. Iron. Force spirit. Oh no, that's the train stop. I don't know. So basically, let's do this. Iron, copper, what else we got? Nickel, silicon. And actually what we should do is tin and lead. So let me put these back. Tin. And then lead comes from rubite, but we don't have that. Tungsten. Oh, there is tungsten ore. It's interesting. Iron and zinc and aluminum. Aluminum, zinc, cobalt, uranium. The uranium is actually kind of good. We've been having some power issues and might need to look at starting to get into nuclear power. We'll have to see. So tin and lead, that's fine. So what we'll do now, this is where it's going to be fun because this is going to be an absolute spaghetti nightmare. Getting these things to go to the right place. So here's we're going to put you back in there for a second. We want you to just do iron ore. Now ideally, we'd do something like this. Switch all their facings. There we go. And then we'd have a bunch of different things. We go copper. And what else did you do? Nickel. Silicon. Titanium. And what was the last one? Zinc. There we go. Each one going to a different location. And so this part of it is going to be all kinds of spaghettified. I'll have to figure out what's the best route to take. Because, like, we need at least, like, this can go this way. All right. These would keep going, but then these ones would have to cross over them somehow or somewhere. So it would get fairly spaghetti-ish. So I think that'll be part of the fun. Trying to figure all that out. This one was... Now we could also use the sides to make things a little bit easier. One option would be to use each other to feed into each other. Kind of like what we did with the original sorting, where we had like the copper coming down to meet with the iron. But I just feel like we'd get a lot of cool colors and things like that here. So, and then this one we could go like, you are going to be like you. There's aluminum and cobalt and iron. See, this has iron and copper and tin. So this one we could actually go like this is like this, and then this is like this, and then this is like tin. Huh. And this is, let's see, what else we got? Cobalt, aluminum, and uranium. Cobalt, aluminum. I don't even see uranium on here. It's probably in the thing with the... There it is. Oh, no. Yep. Uranium. Not what I was trying to do. So this one, like, these are going to be coming down some way. This one's going to have to come up. Maybe like to here. Nope. Like that maybe, and then this one could come up, kind of mirroring it. Like that. But you can already see where there's going to be trouble, right? So, yeah, I think it'll be fun to try and figure this out. I'll probably have to end up having to push this up further so that each one of these kind of has its own lane depending on what all the outputs are. But I think it'll be fun. But that's all we have time for today. I'm going to play around with this a little bit off camera, and then hopefully we'll have a semi-finished product when we meet next, or we may have nothing whatsoever. Oh, look, tin in here. Hooray. Yep. 6 wonderfully unique thingamajobs. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Tap on that like button if you did. And if you really enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe for more content. Either way, leave me a comment down below. I'd like to hear from you. But until next time, I've been Shadowblade. You guys stay sharp.